Hello, hello, hello. As you can tell by the title, this is going to be a big rant, so I had to go get some water and a snack, which I already ate the snack, but that's I already ate the snack, but I got me water. And main thing is gonna be um Stranger Things, cause I mean, who's not gonna talk about that? I need to talk about it. And then a lot of stuff, it's mostly Stranger Things, and then a lot of stuff to do with just media in general because that's, I mean, acting is my career path, so I think it's fair for me to be nosy when it comes to the industry and, the ups and downs. Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Also, this is a week, almost a week and a half before Christmas. We're already a week and a half away. And I may or may not be here for vacation. Um Depending on the Airbnb we stay at, I might be able to. It's just that a lot of, like Airbnbs aren't really, a lot of Airbnbs I've known to be echoey. And so it's just hard to want to stream in an environment where I'm guaranteed to wake everybody up, cuz even here I can, I'm being quieter right now. This is my quiet. Um but they don't really register me, but in the Airbnb it's very echoey. So I don't really think I'll be um what was I saying? I don't really think I'll be posting during vacation. Um I will definitely have another rant. I think the next live I do would definitely be another rant. But I will be it will be Stranger Things because we'll be, me and my fiance would be watching the second volume after I get, so I have to literally basically push myself away from TikTok because I know that TikTok's gonna be on it before I'm on it, because it comes out the 25th or 26th, and we're trying to watch it on the 28th, which is when I get back. So hopefully I can hold, off of TikTok for 2 days, not get spoiled, hopefully. Which I don't, well, no, I do think TikTok will get there before I do, because yeah, I think they will. Um but I have a lot of things to I have a lot of things to talk about. A lot. We have We're gonna be talking about Stranger Things, obviously, like I said. We're gonna be talking about Timothy Chalamet. Um, because I learned some stuff about that, and that grinded my gears. Which, spoiler alert, it wasn't him. It's not him. That's the problem. Um, it just really grinds my gears, the whole situation. And then oh, light, light, shine here. Okay, it was just bothering me because it's just I'm used to my face being illuminated, and it wasn't illuminated. Um, but Stranger Things, Timothy Chalamet. Um, we're definitely going to get on the topic of just movies and shows in general, because I have a bone to pick with that. And definitely parasocial relationships. I've been waiting on that one. That one's gonna be fun. I might save that one for last because I might put music in between that. I might put music before that because technically, when I get to the music part, I'm going to be talking about K-pop, and that can transition into the parasocial. If you're a K-pop fan, you know what I'm talking about. That can transition into the parasocial relationship topic because it's a bit crazy. Might play Minecraft today. I don't know. Might not because this is one of those streams where like I have my thoughts down. I don't want to like forget them by playing a game. But I also know like even with me just like running through this, like it's gonna it's gonna definitely be like an hour and a half. Probably just on the Stranger Things portion because I have a lot to say. Good and you know mediocre, which I think is fair. I have good things to say, and I kind of have like iffy things to say, which again is very fair. Because then live I live to be in an industry where critiques are always going to happen. Critiques always happen. As somebody who is in theater now, um, I've done theater for a long time. I'm always getting criticized. Like, don't don't ever think that your amount of experience makes you automatically better than everybody else. It doesn't. It doesn't. You're always going to learn something. You're always going to learn something, and you're supposed to be there to help other people, not gloat in their face or not boast about your experiences and how good you are. So, with that being said, there are a lot of critiques. Like everybody's going to give a critique. Everybody. Um, I've never switched uh directors. I've always been with the same director. So she's always giving me criticism. And even though, I thought, I was safe because she's been with me for so long. No, no. You always going to get criticized. They're always going to want you to do better in something. And there are some people there are some people who are just good, period. Zendaya, good, period. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Everything I just said doesn't apply to her. Everything I just said, not to her. Not that doesn't apply to her. She's amazing. Um, but I live and breathe the industry where critiques are gonna happen, so I think it's okay for me. I think it's especially because I named this unpopular opinions. Um, and if someone has something to say in the comments or in this chat, I'll just ignore you because I put in this thing unpopular opinions. So whatever I say, whatever comes out my mouth, if you have a different opinion, that's okay. You can leave. You can leave, or you could nicely bring up your opinion, and I can say, okay, I can see that, but that doesn't mean my opinion will change. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like I try to say things in the nicest way possible because I'm not really a mean person, but like sometimes I get sometimes I just start like the truth in my voice comes out like it's just so bad. Yeah, with Stranger Things, right? So like I so hold on. Okay, but like with Stranger Things, first of all, it was good. It was good. Um, don't ask me to tier list seasons because I don't think I can tier list the seasons right off the top of my head. Um, but Stranger Things was good. Like the season 5, like the first half we got was very good. Um, it was just as a whole, as like just looking at it as a show, it was good. Um, I feel like okay, I feel like continuity is a problem. Um, and like I understand, the whole thing takes place during high school. Okay, I understand that. But the but the thing I have is that season 4, right? Season 4 was from what I saw was finished filming 2022. If I'm correct, that's what I saw. So I saw somebody posting that. So I don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it came out 2022. I'm pretty sure. And in the in this season, you can you can tell they're older. Like there's no hiding the fact that they're grown. There's no hiding the fact that they're grown. Um and I feel like, that like understand like they had to continue the continuity, but I just feel like, they could have just did like a time skip. Um because even like they could just done a time skip saying like they're, adults now or they're in college now and stuff like, but like saying that, like, how am I supposed to believe that? And again, this is me being I just analyze things very quickly. It's just I just pick up on details very quickly. But like when I saw Sadie Sink, get on right get on the screen, she she does not look like she's been in that hospital 6 months. I fail to let you convince me that she she has grown that much in 6 months. That does not make sense. Now, if you said, you know, a year and a half, 2 years, that would make more sense than 6 months because she looks way older. And again, I don't think, to the naked eye, it's fine, but like, as someone like me who literally picks up on every little thing, she does not look like she's been in the hospital 6 months. She doesn't. Like she looks way older than 6 months doesn't do that to you, dog. She looked great. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not saying they look like old. I'm saying they do not pass as they can't play teenagers anymore. It just doesn't work because you can't have them Like the difference between Max season 4 and Max season 5 is night and day. That girl looks like a full woman now, and like we need to understand it's kind of hard. Like I get it. Like I get it. They had to finish the show out. I get it. It's just to me, looking at it in plain sight, I can it's in plain sight. Like they're way too old to be playing. They're way too old, and the characters don't match up from the seasons. Like it doesn't actually match up, and then you expect me to believe that this is only 6 months apart. They shouldn't even be in high school still. They don't look like they belong in high school anymore. They don't. Which that was just really funny to me. Cause like it was just really funny to me. Cause like obviously they're adults, but like it was just contrast between the two is was like very funny. Um Dustin. With Dustin, okay. I love Dustin, okay? I think Dustin is probably my favorite character. The whole thing with him getting bullied and everything, I understand. I understand that. That actually was a good plot. I get it. However, the snake scene will never fail to like confuse me because how in Tarnation, okay. So you like first, I don't understand how he just like I understand that he was getting bullied because he's wearing the shirt and everything. But like I get it because, Jason, which I didn't like Jason anyway. He deserved to get cooked. Anyway, didn't like him, but he got cooked. He was wearing the shirt. Dustin was wearing the shirt. They got mad. Okay, I get it. But like the whole rebel Dustin is not something I was expecting. Like at all. What is that? Okay. Okay. But like the whole rebel side, I kind of like because again, like Dustin was like their nerdy kind of like, you know, comedic character. And like to see him like in a rebel mode, it's like I kind of understand because Eddie was like your best friend. Like I kind of understand. But what I don't understand, right? I feel like this switch up was so drastic. Like it was just it threw me super off guard. Like again, later I was like, "Oh wait, actually, you know what?" Kind of vibing with it. But at first I was just like, "Why?" I was just like, "Dustin, why?" But one part that definitely does not make any sense to me. I can't sugarcoat it. This does not make any sense to me. Is that okay? Dustin grabs the snake, right? When Dustin grabs the snake to go and put it in the locker and scare the bullies, right? The bullies are terrified of the snake, bro. They're like they're like staring at the snake. They're like staring at the snake like it's about to take their soul. Like, and then Dustin goes to Eddie's grave. Why did they kill the snake? The school snake that you were just scared of. How did you grab the courage to grab the snake, take it to the graveyard, kill it, and then paint over someone's grave with your with the snake's blood? How do you how do you do that? How do you go from Like you were just scared of the snake, dog. Like we saw you. You jumped. You jumped. And then Dustin was just handling the snake like it was nothing. Like he was like it was like, you want to go for an adventure, buddy? Like he was ready. You weren't. How do you kill the snake? And then it's the school snake. So now you just killed property of the school. For what? For what reason? For what reason? Also, how did they believe that Dustin fell? How did they believe that Dustin fell off his bike? How did they believe that? How? Y'all are some goofy goopers. Bro, this man literally beating black and blue. Oh, I just fell off my bike. Even Steve was like, Steve was like, did the delete, 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 like, just looking at Dustin like, what are you talking about? Like, why did you just lie like that? Oh, oh yeah. Speaking of Steve and Jonathan thing they feud they had going on, excellent, hilarious. Um, I do want to say, yeah, that snake scene still don't make sense to me. I don't understand. I don't understand. Um, but I also don't understand. I need whoever, and I do not care what anybody has to say. I do not care right now. Whoever did Caleb McLaughlin's hair for season 5, you don't deserve your job. And why on earth? Why did poor Caleb let it slide? Why did he let it go? Why did he let it go? Because like me and my fiance were watching it and we're using Telepath, which Telepath is basically a online service where you can watch like Netflix and stuff together, from your computers. Not sponsored, just thought I would share it because it's great, it's cool. But we were watching and Ethan kept pausing every time they showed this man's like side profile or like his front profile. And it was so bad because it was literally his head, like it was it was literally his head, and then it went to like it was like and then up. Like it was just like it was like here. It was like here up. Like it just looked like a bee, and it was like, why does it look like a bee? It was we were just dying laughing. He kept pausing it every time he showed up, and it was the funniest thing in the world. The funniest thing in the world. Who did his hair? Who did that poor man's hair? I really want to know. I just want to know. Also, I saw him with cornrows. Go, sir. Go, buddy. I don't know when he had those cornrows. But I just saw the video of him with the cornrows recently. I don't know when he had cornrows, but if it was recently, go, sir, go. Get that high top you had off because oh, oh, it looked so funny. I'm sorry. I love all the actors, right? This is no hate to all the actors, but whoever did his hair needed to quit their job. Cause that was not it. I hope they fixed it. I hope they realized, before, after season, after episode 4, I hope they realized and they changed it. Cause gosh, like it was it was so bad. It was just it was terrible. Like I'm sorry, it was very much terrible. Um speaking of hair, we're going to get to Finn Wolfhard's hair. And what well, Noah's hair, let's not Noah's hair because I'm more worried about Finn's hair because of Finn's hair texture. Like Noah has seemed to have pretty straight, if not like a little bit wavy hair. Whereas Finn, it infuriates me. Like literally, it infuriates me. I I loved Finn Wolfhard's acting. You know, when I saw him in it, loved his acting. Right? He's such a great actor. But the other thing is, he has such like like a Finn has such good hair. Like he has such pretty curly hair. And I want to know what they did because I just imagine this is what I imagine, right? I imagine, when Stranger Things started, I just imagine them like washing his hair, right? Washing his hair, blow drying it, and then just slowly putting putting a flat iron to it. Just putting a flat iron to it, because why not? Why not ruin this man's hair? And it's either that or they gave him a perm, which either way, I would actually I would rather him have the flat iron. I would rather him have the flat iron because at least with a flat iron you can just spray some heat protectant and go out the house. But the perm, you have way too many things that you have to do, and with an acting career like that, you're not able to keep up with the perm. So, oh yeah, and perms can also just fry your hair off because like you could literally have a dab of water on your perm and bam, hair falls out. Like I just want to know what they did to his hair because he cut it right. He cut it for like he said he cut it just to like have a new life outside of Stranger Things just to try. I don't think he did that, bro. I think his hair was like straw. That's what I believe. I believe his hair was at the point of no return, and that's why because like during season 2, right? During season 2, he had it long because he had it like in that weird bowl cut slash like really flat, no texture wolf cut. Like it kind of looked like a wolf cut, but without the layers. So it was like because his hair was long, so it went back and like curled at the end. He had that, and then season 3 and 4, he started cutting it like a little bit shorter, which is fine. Which is fine. But I think the reason he was cutting it shorter was because it was dying. Like, as someone who has really coily hair, right? The only reason I can imagine that he would go from extremely long to extremely short in a few years is because heat damage. That's the only reason. Y'all know I have my hair to my back, bro. And last January. Actually, no. I think it was this January. It was this January. I had to get cut. Bro, you want to know? I had to get it cut from my back to my shoulders. Like I had to cut that much off. Like, and it had to be like it was like a like Finn's. It was like a gradual cut, and then January and March, that was kind of when I finally got it all chopped off to like my shoulders, so I had a bob for a little bit. But y'all, like I'm pretty sure that's what he did. I'm pretty sure that's why he did it because he didn't have any curls anymore. It was just like, because if you've seen him in the turning, is we'll talk about the turning in a minute. We'll talk about the turning in a minute. But like the way, like I just don't, because if you see, like, his hair was so curly, it was gorgeous. Like, his hair was bouncy, his hair was healthy. And like when you saw interviews, in the last couple of years, like, again, as someone who has curling hair, um I could just, when I saw him in interviews, I could just stare at his hair and be like, yeah, that needs to go. Like that needs to go. I could just, I could just imagine him waking up one day and just being like, just testing it. Like, it's just, I know it. I know he, because you can't tell me his hair was straight, because it wasn't. It wasn't, because even in it, he was still young, but like he had like curls forming already, and then by the time he started being more stuff, that's when his curls started to be like big. But like that made me mad. That made me that has infuriated me, and that's why I've spent so specifically long on that, because it really infuriated me and someone with curly hair, and I love people with curly hair. Chappelle Ron, Chappelle has great hair. Great hair. I love curly hair. I love seeing curly hair, bro. I love seeing it bounce. And then Finn Stylish just said, nope, nope. Like, just said, that's not the look we're going for, which I understand. But I understand you have to do certain hairstyles for a certain role. But golly, that thing lasted 5 seasons. He probably had it. That's why I also feel like he got a perm, which is definitely not even is definitely not safer than flat ironing. Again, I would rather him flat iron his whole head over and over again, because again, at least then he can just get up in the morning, get up in the morning, and walk out the door. Like, he's rich. He can get the latest, the most trustworthy hair, heat protectant. like, I just, I feel like he might have got a perm, because even now, like, his hair grows straight. Um, and I have heard, again, I might be wrong, but I've heard that when you have a perm, or relaxer or whatever, your hair growing out, your first head of hair growing out will be straighter, because the chemicals have like got into your scalp. Again, I don't know if that's factual, but that's what I heard somebody talking about was her relaxer experience, and she said, when her hair grew back out, it wasn't curly at first. It was, straighter. Like, it was wavy. I'll say that. It was wavy instead of being curly like it usually was. But yeah, that's that. Yeah. Now to the turning. The turning is an interesting topic, because I took my mom to see that movie for her birthday, because we both love horror movies, right? And I was like, "Oh, mom, we should go see this movie." And we both knew going in that it was based on the book. Um, cuz she knew a little bit about the book, so she kind of told me a little bit about it. Not all, because we don't, well, she reads a lot, but she didn't read that book specifically. So she kind of told me what she knew about it, and we kind of went from there. Um, Even as someone who didn't read the book, right? Even as someone who didn't read the book, um, That movie was as much as I love Live, Love, Laugh, Finn Wolfhard, right? As much as I live, love, laugh, his acting, that movie in general was terrible. Was terrible. Um, and his character was terrible, and it wasn't his fault. The entire that whole the dialogue in general for any of the characters, the general dialogue was bad, was poorly written, and the things that like they had Finn do to fill in space was so off. Like it was just like I get it. It was supposed to be kind of like a psychological horror thing, but it was more weird than psychological. It was more cringy than psychological. Um and I feel like him as an actor, I feel like he probably hates reliving that movie. I can just imagine he hates reliving that movie because even like looking at it, I could imagine myself being in on that set and being told what to do and being like, "What?" and being like, "What are you talking about? That's weird. That's stupid." Like, but you know what's crazy? You got paid for it though. That's what you gotta do. I mean, he got paid for it still. Like, it was just, it's so awful. It's so bad because like the girl who played Kate, I've seen her in other stuff. She's not a bad actress. She's very good actually. But the whole movie just fell flat to the face. Like the turn of the screw, from what I know of the turn of the screw, it's not something that you can make into one movie. Like that's something that had to be a part two anyway. First of all, had to be a part two. You couldn't just make it into one movie. From what I know. Because it's a very complicated book. Like if you have ever read the book, it's very complicated to me. It's very complicated. Um, but yeah, it's not something that you could do in one movie. You would have to do a sequel. Two, the dialogue, like the way things flowed, like why was there so much space in between dialogues? That's another thing. Like there were so many spaces in between dialogues. That was so weird, so odd. It just it just didn't make sense. Like it just it didn't make sense. Like even like the whole thing of like Quint like not wanting him to leave. Like we don't see Quint. Like we could at least if we saw him, it would like because he's just sitting there. He's like Quint won't. He won't let me leave, dog. You're literally sitting there at the drums. If like it would make sense if you know we saw him like through like if they swapped the camera to like Kate's point of view and we saw Quint holding Finn down, that would have made more sense. That would have made more sense. But we didn't see anything. He was just playing drums. And the house was collapsing. How are you gonna keep somebody with you if the house is collapsing? Come on now. Like, I don't. The whole thing didn't make sense. Like, the whole thing was just didn't make sense. It was so bad. It was so bad. Let me sip more water because but golly, I think that's like the first time I've had like a favorite actor in something, and I was like, oh yeah, this sucks. I'm sorry, dog. Like, I'm sorry. Because everybody in the theater, you gotta imagine we're in the theater. And everybody at the end, everybody just stood up and was like, huh? I was like, what? Like, it was a collective. Everybody thought the same thing. It sucked. It sucked. Like, it wasn't psychological at all. It was just cringy. Because again, like pacing, the pacing was all. I feel like if the pacing was a bit faster, if they put more dialogue in, it would be more. It would make more sense. Like it would. Um, I'm not gonna comment on the, you know, Miles being 16 and hitting on Kate thing. I'm not gonna get on that because I think that's part of the book actually. So I'm not gonna put on that. But like, just everything else that I mentioned, it was so bad. Like I'm pretty sure if you put the book in front of me, and I actually just wrote a movie. Um, I'm actually trying to find a place where I can, you know, maybe put my movie ideas to people and they, to like directors and stuff. Because I wrote a movie. I wrote a new movie synopsis and everything. Um, but I'm learning how to write music and movies, you know? So if someone gave me the book and was like, okay, read the first 10 chapters, right? Read the first 10 chapters and try to make a part 1 movie out of that. I could probably do better. And I'm not even joking. I probably could do better, especially with my ADHD brain. More is more to me. That's another reason why it was so slow to me. Like, in my brain, more is more. We gotta have more going on. And there was not a lot going on. Like, I'm not a very minimalistic person. I'm not, when it comes to like movies and stuff, I'm not a minimalistic person. So to me, I would have definitely done that movie differently. If you give me the book and let me read it, I could probably write something that was better. Oh my gosh. What's my next topic? Um, shoot. Oh, okay, next topic. We're going fast here because it is 11:30, but I want to get through all my stuff, and possibly Bay might get off of work before I get off here, so he might be on here. But first thing, Timothy Chalamet, right? So I had this video pop up. It was by It's Keisha. Check her out, love her. Um, and she does like those YouTubers who do like deep dives into like media and what went wrong and things like that. She does that, right? And she talks about like different you know things that are happening. So I saw a video pop up for her, and it was like everybody hates Timothy Chalamet now, and I was like, oh brother, because Timothy Chalamet is another one of my favorite actors. Um, so it was just like, oh. So I went to watch the video because I told Bay, I was like, let me get the resource down, let me get the nitty gritty, and then I'll come back to you, because they were calling him narcissistic and a clout chaser and everything. Dog, big dog. I watched that video. Big dog, they're calling him a clout chaser. Okay, first they're calling him a clout chaser because he's dated Madonna's daughter, Johnny Depp's daughter, and now he's dating Kylie Jenner, right? So people are assuming, oh, he's just clout chasing. No, baby, I think he just has. I think, I think he's just happened to date nepo babies. First of all, I think he's just happened to date nepo babies. I don't think that he's just you know, clout chasing. No, because just because two people are famous doesn't mean they're doing it for clout. It doesn't mean they're dating for clout. Two, um, other fans of Timothy Chalamet brought this up that too. Uh, when he does, like when he talked about I think her name is Larden. I think her name is Lauden. Madonna's daughter, Lauden. Um, Lily Rose. I think Lily Rose Depp. I don't know their names like that. I can't remember. Um, and then Kylie Jenner. So with Lauden and Lily Rose Depp, I don't know why I can't say that. He would always be like, you could tell he was happy to see them. You could tell he was happy to talk about them and everything. And people are saying that with Kylie Jenner, he just seems kind of like he doesn't want to talk about her. Which, in my opinion, he's older now, y'all. He's like finna be 30. Or he already is 30. I think he's 30. But anyway, he's about to be 30, right? He probably just doesn't see the need to constantly boast about his relationships. I don't think, because I think everybody gets to that point. I don't think you have to boast about your relationship to be known as this power couple, or you have to boast about your relationship to sound like you love them. Like you love, if you love Kylie Jenner, you love her at the home, like at the house. You don't have to, boast about her. Like, he's probably just older now, and he probably just doesn't care to do all that stuff. But, like, the second reason why they're hating on him, right? The reason why they're calling him a narcissist makes me so mad. So, he won an award, right? Okay. Won an award. He got up to do a speech. And he said, do not quote me, I'm just summarizing what he said. He just said, I plan, I hope to be the greatest, I hope to be one of the greatest. I look up to the greatest, and he started lifting off the greatest, and people called him a narcissist for that. And I just feel like, how is someone saying they want to be one of the greatest being a narcissist? It's not narcissistic at all. Y'all just don't know how to read between the lines. Like, y'all just read way too hard between the lines and try to find things that aren't actually there. Like, he said he just hopes to be one of the greatest. He wasn't saying, I am one of the greatest. Now, I can understand if he said, I am one of the greatest. No, he said, I hope to be one of the greatest. Or that he wants to be one of the greatest. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with him wanting to be one of the greatest. And then people were also calling him narcissist, calling him awful because he said that when he's old, when he's old and, crippled and everything, that he wants to be able to look at his old movies and say, oh, I wasn't scared to be myself. Oh, I wasn't scared to push myself to be the greatest, I wasn't scared to live in my truth. And people called him a narcissist for that. It's like, people just people just try to cancel anybody. And it's ridiculous to me. Like, he literally has not done anything for you to cancel him. And like, he's a good actor. Like, he's done a lot of movies in between Dune and Wonka, which I knew about but I hadn't seen, so I have to go see them. But like, y'all just people just be canceling anybody. And like it just it infuriated me. I watched it today and I was like, I know you're lying. I was like, this is so dumb. But yeah, that's how Timothy Chalamet's life is going for. Now, someone told I heard someone say like years ago. This was years ago. But someone who was a fan of Timmy Chalamet had came on the like skit and whatever, and she called out all of the people who had celebrity crushes on Finn Wolfhard and Timmy Chalamet, right? And she's like, oh, okay, so y'all have a thing for Tim Burton reincarnate, and I have not been able to unsee those two people as Tim Burton Tuesday. Like I have not been able to unhear that to this day. Like all I see is like Timber, because you know what, their lanky legs don't help. Like especially Finn. Like Finn Wolfhard has lanky legs, bro. Like he just he doesn't help himself. Like it doesn't help at all. But I just haven't been able to get that out of my head. It's been stuck with me since 2019. I can't get out. I can't get out. But yeah, that's Timothy Chalamet. Now, now, media in general, I have a problem. I have a problem. Um, and that's because of how it's okay for you to be liberal. Okay, it's okay to be liberal. But when you're shoving liberalism down companies' throats, it gets old. Like when you're constantly making shows that are all about inclusivity and everything, like a few at a time makes sense. Like a few at a time is like okay, wholesome, but like when you're it's just obvious now that people are pushing way too hard for inclusivity and it's getting on my nerves because what do you mean we have shows for 5-year-olds pushing learning people's pronouns and it really hurts myself. If you We should not have shows or movies teaching kids that. Like we should not have shows that are tailored to 5-year-olds teaching them different pronouns and how to respect people's pronouns. What happened to yes sir, no sir? Yes ma'am, no ma'am. What happened to sharing is caring? What happened to, say you're sorry? Like, how about we learn those first? How about Timmy learns those first before he learns, that someone may or may not be a man or woman? Like, let's, like, like, can we normal, can we normalize not every show and movie having liberal teachings? Can we just let a show be a show? Period. Like, and what irks me more is when people take shows. People are so bored that they take shows that have lived past their time, right? We're talking shows from 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s. And I say 60s because Scooby Doo came out in the 60s. Fun fact. Um why in the world, and you know what? I think Scrappy. Did Scrappy come out before Scooby Doo? I don't know. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up later. But it it just you take shows that are in their prime time, past their prime time, and you just go, I don't like this. Let's change it for the new generation. Why? It's past this. Let it be past this time. Like, I just don't like. I'm not saying the show is dead because I still rewatch a lot of older shows. I still rewatch them and movies too. Um, but I'm not saying they're dead, but they're past their time. Stop trying to pull them out of their, you know, just why are you trying to revive them out of what they've already finished? Like they finished and you're trying to pull them out and make them into something they're not. What is the point? Like don't try to reincarnate them. Just let them be. Like they're done. The show is over. It just it makes me mad because they did it for Animaniacs and I cannot stand it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't. Like it's just it irks my soul. It really does. But what irked my soul even more is Monster High. And Monster High I will talk about because I'm far more livid with that than I am Animaniacs, bro. Like I'm far more livid. I will talk about because what do you mean y'all took out? First of all, what do you mean Cleo and Deuce aren't together? What do you mean? What do you mean the most toxic? What do you mean the most toxic relationship in Monster High isn't together? And what do you mean Cleo is talking to Frankie? What do you mean? Like, this makes no sense. Also, how is Frankie the most preppy girl in that school? How is she not minor? That makes. I'm sorry. That makes zero sense. That makes zero sense. Why is she non binary, bro? And then, this is what got me. Is I was watching the trailer for the Monster High live action movie. Don't recommend. Don't go watch it. Um, if you haven't seen it, good. Don't ever go to see it. It's atrocious. But what kills me is they refer to Draculaura as it. They say, "Oh, its pronouns are it." What? What are you talking about? This is what I'm talking about. Like y'all want to make everything so inclusive. Like y'all care so much about inclusivity now that there is no quality. And I said what I said. There is way too much inclusivity and not enough quality nowadays. And I'll live by that because they care way too much about animating something and making something look so animated to the point where people aren't going to care about, the quality. Because if the quality of the, you know, designs are good, everybody's going to turn a blind eye to the actual message. People don't care about messages anymore. They just care about you throwing pretty colors and stuff at the wall. They just care about you throwing pretty colors and stuff at the screen. Or like a good 3D animation. Like they don't really care about the actual show itself. Like the show can be terrible, but if it's animated well, people are gonna love it. And it's just like it just I just stopped watching TV at the point because it's just like what? And I heard they're doing Backyardigans, I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't want to hear it. Um, I did hear about Yo Gabba Gabba. I don't know if that's already come out, but I do have a little bit of faith in it only because it's DJ Lance's daughter who's doing it. So I have a little bit of faith, or at least I heard it was his daughter. Like they say it's his daughter. I don't know if they mean his daughter in the show or his actual daughter. Um, but I only trust him because I only trust it because of her. But like when I was growing up, like we didn't have reboots. We had reruns. And with reruns, you got what came on that TV. Like nobody cared about making Courage the Cowardly Dog appealing to our generation. They didn't care about that. They said, here's your reruns. Which also, I think that the reason why they did that is because technology, obviously. So maybe it was taking so long to create other shows that we had so many reruns because they were giving us things to watch. And that's why a lot of us that were born in early 2000s were very cultured because we watched a lot of stuff from the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s. We watched a lot of shows from that era. And so that's why we're considered more cultured than later Gen Z because later Gen Z didn't have that. Um so yeah, like did y'all like um Chowder. Like Chowder. They did not care. They did not care. Um Rocco's Rocco's life. I'm just gonna say Rocco's life. Rocco's modern life. They did not care, bro. They weren't changing that for us. They were like same thing with Hey Arnold. They weren't changing it for us. They were just rerunning it and letting us see it. And the same thing goes for like live action stuff, like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Um, like they didn't try to like reboot it or make new. You know, they didn't try to just make everything newer. They just kept what they had, and I just feel like we kind of grew up in a good in a. I'm sick. I'm sick. Good. Gooder in English than I am. But like, it was better. We were raised in a better time because we were kind of forced to be open to other cultures, and we were kind of forced to be open to other eras in society. Because like, even like the Looney Tunes, right? The old Looney Tunes, right? They had a lot of crude stuff in there, okay? They had a lot of crude stuff in there. But that's just what it was at the time. And at the, like Porky Pig would be smoking. But you know what? It was part of the thing. It was part of, society back then. So we just kind of had to watch it and, learn ourselves that this was normal back then. You know, like this might be weird to you at first, but this was normal back then. And we have to respect that it was normal back then. We can't just sit there and try to change it just for this generation. Like I think this generation needs to learn to appreciate what was okay back then and what wasn't. Because again, like it was normal for guys to smoke with their sons back when like Looney Tunes first started. Like it was okay for that. Um, which now, you can tell your son, don't do that. But this was normal back then, so that's why it's still a kid's show. It was just normal. So for people saying like Looney Tunes, like oh Looney Tunes wasn't really a kids show, it was. It was normalized to do that stuff. And then he also walked around with a shotgun, dog. Like, what do you want? Like, what more do you want? What more do you want? Come on now. Literally, Martin the Martian literally sat there constantly talking about destroying Earth and literally had gamma rays, bro. You know, I know y'all haven't been in science, okay? I know y'all been in science. You don't know how strong gamma rays are. Literally had a whole gamma ray gun, bro, just ready to go. And people want to say, "Oh, that's a bad influence for kids." It was just funny. Like, what? It's just like it's just so bad how things have gotten. I, it just it bothers me. It does bother me. What time is it? It's almost 12 a.m., bro. 12 a.m. Let's talk about music. Let's talk about music. Since it's almost 12 a.m., I'm gonna get my last two thoughts in, and then we're gonna head out. Cut it out. I don't know why I don't know why I just thought about that. Oh, I love Full House, bro. I love Full House. What was the? I'm trying to think. What was the tune of like? Remember when Joey? For anybody who watched Full House, like, remember when Joey had like the cat puppets, and he did like the song, like he did like the advert. What was that? How did that go? Cause now I really gotta look that up later. Oh my gosh, because I need to figure that out because I just thought about it and it just made me smile. Anyway, music, right? I have a bone to pick with music. Um, First of all, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about the AI song, the AI country song that made it on #1 Billboard. We're cooked on that part. But when it comes to people making music, right? When it comes to people making music, I feel like the quality of music has gone down. And I don't mean anything to certain artists, but it just feels like we talk a lot about. Oh, yeah, I just thought about this. We talk a lot about personal lives. Like, people like to talk a lot about their personal lives more deeply now. Like, before, like, you had, like, the classic, you know, Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, heartbreak song, that was very, vague. But now it feels like people just love to talk about their lives in detail, which is very off putting because I feel like, as somebody who is a Christian, right? I don't think people should be talking about, their life in the bedroom. I don't think people should be talking about that constantly in songs. I just feel like and I've always found it weird. Like, that's why I don't really listen to rap like that either, because I've always found it kind of strange how people just share that part of their lives. Um, but like, in terms of just like overall quality, I feel like quality is significantly gone down. I feel like people make music more for the chorus to be on TikTok. Like, I don't think people really focus on like the actual full song itself, because as long as they can make a catchy chorus that's going to be a TikTok dance, it doesn't matter. And I feel like that's not right, because there have been plenty of songs where I hear the chorus, I don't trust doing this anymore, but I would hear the chorus on TikTok and I'd be like, "Oh, that sounds like a good song. Let me go look." And then the beginning is trash. They just it's just awful. Like they just don't care because they're focused on what's gonna be catchy on TikTok, and it just makes me upset. Um. Also, I feel like people can say anything in the song, and as long as it's got like this catchy hypnotic beat, people are going to fall for it. People are going to sit there and say it's the best song in the world. And as someone who is a Cat's Eye fan, I am going to say Gnarly is one of those songs. It's it's not good. Like I like compared to all of their songs, it's not good. Y'all just like because even when I first listened to it, even when I kept listening to it to try to get into it, it just sounded like an advert. Like it didn't sound like an actual song. Like it did not sound real. It just didn't sound like an actual song. It sounded like something you hear in an advert. And like the lyrics, it's just like this is the trash that people put out, and this is the trash that people say is the best thing they've ever heard. And it just makes me mad because as someone who loves Cat's Eye, it grinds my gears when people say that Gnarly is their best song because you're hypnotized. You're hypnotized. That was the whole point of the song anyway. It was to hypnotize you because it's not good. It's not. And then like the dance, like the dance is okay, but like the song is just awful. And another thing is like I feel like people put in these like difficult dances which or like they try to put in dances that they think would be like lit, right? To distract from the fact that the music is actually trash. Because they're not the only K-pop artists to do that. I mean, I'm just using them as an example. But like they use the dance to distract from the fact that the song is actually trash. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. As someone who loves music, if the dance, if you match the beat to the dance, it's automatically going to sound good to you. You're automatically going to think it's good because the dance matches the beat. And if you like the dance and the dance matches the beat, it's automatically going to trick your brain to think the song is good because the dance matches the beat. In the case of Gnarly, that's exactly what's going on. It's exactly what's going on. It's and then the beats too. It's just people like it's just really bad. And Spaghetti by La Seraphim, I love I love okay. I say this with a lot, but I love J Hope from BTS, okay? But like even he couldn't save that song. And that's saying something for me. Like even J Hope from BTS could not save that song. It just did not sound good. It doesn't. Like I listened to it from the very beginning. Like I did with Gnarly. It doesn't sound good. Like I thought. It doesn't sound good at all. Um the dance for Spaghetti. Why? The lyrics, why? Doesn't make any sense. Like it just and especially like the dance move where it's like you know the like the throw up part. That's so weird. Why do they have that? Like why is that? It just it grinds my gears. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Like there are just times where like you have this dance, you either have a dance that's difficult and then have the song trash, to distract from the trash song. Or you have, oh, Vegas calling. Hold on, I'm muting. Okay, so like it's either you have the songs where the music is trash, but the dance is hard, so therefore people think it's good. And then you have the songs where the song is trash, uh, the dance is trash. However, they have a TikTok catchy chorus. Therefore, everybody's going to say it's the best song in the world. It's not the best song in the world. It's trash. Um, I've heard that a lot this year too. I've heard that a lot with a lot of songs that come out. That, oh my gosh, this is revolutionary, and it's like I've seen better. I've seen way better, and it's just so bad. It's so bad because specifically, Le Seraphim and Cat's Eye, I will sit there and say, have done it, each of them, and it's so bad. And like New Jeans, I don't even want to get into New Jeans. We're not going to talk about New Jeans. New Jeans is a whole topic on their own. I can't stand them. Anyway, like I can't stand their fan base for being so blind. But unpopular opinion. So I can say whatever I want. The the last thing, because I said we were going to talk about K-pop and then transition into this, which is the parasocial relationships. Now, the parasocial relationships, out of whack, out of sight, out of mind. I would never like the the amount of the the amount of people, specifically K-pop fans, that will go on Twitter saying things like I'm gonna use Benny from Stray Kids, right? Who will sit there and say Benny is my husband, right? It's like you can't be that delusional. You can't. You can't possibly be that delusional. Um, or people who sit there and, get mad at other people for having the same bias as them, being like, this person is mine, you can't have this bias. You're insane. You need to get help. Um, yeah. I hate people who do that online. Also, people who go to extreme, like, hey, babe. Yep. Oh, mm, mm. That's not an AI song, babe. No, the song is not AI itself. The song is uh, the song is a '90s song. That's a '90s R&B song. They just added weird music to it. That's not the instrumental. It's literally a rap. Like it's a. I'll look up the song and give it to you, but that's an actual song. Yeah, like the yeah that song like that's an actual song. Like it's an actual song. That's a song my parents grew up with. So the original one. It's a good song. Um, a rapper, a rapper. Um, no, it was not Jay Z. It was more of a not so known rapper at the time. Um, um, okay, but yeah, that's an actual song. People just put weird music behind it. It was, but why were people saying that's an AI song? That's not an AI song. That's my mom. Like that's some my mom would hear at US like at college. What are you talking about? Like, oh my gosh. Oh, you just put me on another topic too. I was watching a video of this kid who didn't even who they've never done like this generation doesn't know Miss Mary Mac. They don't know shame, shame, shame. And I was like, oh, I was like, I always played shame, 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 bro. What y'all know about? I don't want to. Y'all don't know. I don't want to go to Mexico no more, more, more. Y'all don't know that. That just made me. That made me sad when I watched it too. Hmm? They what? Hold your phone. What are you doing? So no, I placed it there. Anyway, so like she didn't know Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in black with silver buttons all down her back. Didn't know that. Um, she didn't know shame, shame, shame. They try to get her to say hit the quan. She didn't know hit the quan. Um, they try to get her. They said her mom said raindrop, and she didn't know what to say next. She didn't know what to say. It was so funny, mind you. The girl was 8. The girl was 8. They actually did that to her. But back to what I was talking about. So the parasocial relationship, people will go to extreme lengths to like. It's okay. Like as somebody, huh? Okay, so okay, so parasocial relationships, right? Is basically like people claiming people they don't know as theirs. Like you know how okay, so you know how like people have like I'm laughing because I was on this. When you know how people have like Wattpad and like a like what is it? What was it called? Not AM3. Uh, I know what I'm talking about. Uh, uh, I think no. What was it? AO3. AO3. Yeah, like Wattpad AO3. You had places where like you could like make fan fictions of like your favorite like artists or something. Well, there are some people, right, who can't just read and leave it in the book. They put it in reality too. And that's where parasocial relationships come in. It's basically when somebody is trying to make their fan fiction a reality and just start claiming random artists as their like their husbands or their wives, or saying weird things, and even like some go to the lengths of like DMing them and saying like weird things to them about like what they would do and things like that. Like it's people are weird. People are weird. Yeah, people are weird. It gets so bad, specifically with K-pop. I was like, it's so I feel genuinely bad for them, and I love you. Mhm. Mm. Bye. Okay, buddy. But like, it's just it. People scare me. Like, do y'all remember when like who was it? I think it was Jimin from BTS. I think it was Jimin. No, I don't think it was Jimin. Actually, I do. I think. I think. I actually don't remember. But y'all remember when that idol? It actually might have been multiple idols because apparently you can't. I mean, it probably didn't happen once. It probably happened to multiple idols. But do y'all remember when like this idol got like a message from a letter from a fan, right? And he like opened it up because like he's thinking, oh, this is sweet, and it was in her like her menstrual. I'm not gonna say the word, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm going to get if this will get shut down or not if I say it. So I'm just gonna say because things are so strict now. So I'm just gonna say her residue, her menstrual residue. What do you? Why are you writing? And like I remember that because they showed like obviously it had it censored and you had to like look at it if you wanted to look at it, but like it was straight up like, and it had like the chunky bit. Oh, it was nasty. Oh, it was so bad. But like that's how crazy people will go. That's how crazy people will go. And that's scary. That's very scary. But but yeah, like please just if you're gonna read like fan fictions or stuff, if you're gonna have celebrity crushes, that's fine. And like I do believe in like, just because like celebrities are still people. Like celebrities are still people. They might look at a fan and be like, "Oh, she's really cute," or he's really fine. I don't think just because you're a celebrity means you're on a pedestal. Like, I don't think just because you're a fan means you're lower. Like, you're still people at the end of the day. Being a celebrity is literally just a job, like working at a grocery store. It's a job. We're all people. So I feel like when people, you know, I feel like there's a limit, but I also do understand that it's not okay to do that, to like claim somebody or like live or like try to make it your reality, but I also don't think it's fair to sit there and tell somebody that, oh, you don't have a chance, they're a celebrity. Like, oh, I don't think it's weird. I don't think it's right to say that somebody's delusional. Um, to like have a celebrity crush and be like, think about what it would be like. Because again, we're still people at the end of the day. We can fall for whoever, like I mean, that's my, that's my end, note for that is my end note for tonight. It is 12:19. But yeah, that is my end note for tonight. I hope you enjoy. I don't know where this accent came from actually. I really don't know. But I hope you I hope you have a good day. I hope you have I hope you have a good day. Or night. For me it's 12, so technically morning, but hope you have a good night or day. Um if you did enjoy the stream, then definitely check out my other stuff and definitely be, waiting for either during my vacation or when I'm off, when I'm out of vacation. I don't know. Um, and I might try to do a stream before I leave as well. Might try to do another stream, but yeah. So, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next stream. And peace. Have a good night. Have a good day.